morning on Thursday, the 6th of March, 2025. It's 8 a.m. in the Gambia, and therefore coffee time on West Coast Radio with me, Peter Gomez. On YouTube, our program is sponsored by Jar Oil, although we're looking for more sponsors. Thanks for joining us.
In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Jar Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Jar Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. With a focus on sustainability and innovation, we are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Jar Oil also targets to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.
It's just gone past half past the hour, and we're going to concentrate for the next half hour on education. And if you've been wondering where to pursue a master's degree after bagging your BA in your chosen field of study, the next half hour may be for you. The Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and the Gambia's Management Development Institute, sometime last year announced a groundbreaking partnership to offer a Master's of Arts in Public Sector Management in the Gambia. Well, this collaborative program is designed to equip public and private sector professionals with advanced management skills and knowledge to drive impactful governance and development. Well, the program was to commence early this year. Has it? Well, we're about to find out. First, let's have introductions. I can't remember having a team this large in the studio with me. That's why I always love GIMPA coming to town. So let's go. No, ladies first, and then we will go from left to right. Otherwise, I'll be breaking with tradition, especially during this month for women, because in 2 days' time, we'll be celebrating International Day of Women, isn't it? Madam, please introduce yourself.
My name is Esther Ayine. I'm the Deputy Registrar of the School of Public Service and Governance in GIMPA.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Gearing up for Saturday?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Will you be celebrating International Women's Day here in the Gambia?
Unfortunately, we'll be in Ghana. We'll celebrate in Ghana.
I wish we could keep you here. Okay, so let's go from left to right now with the introductions.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Tando Offen. I'm the Dean for the School of Public Service and Governance at GIMPA.
Fantastic.
I'm happy to be here.
Yep.
And Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak, others say Ramadan Kareem. I suppose it's one and the same thing.
Thank you.
All right, let's continue with the introductions.
Yes, so hello everyone. I'm Professor Ebenezer Adaku, currently the Deputy Rector of GIMPA, and I'm very happy to be here. And I also would like to wish all Muslims in Gambia a happy Ramadan. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, it's Lent as well. Christians are fasting.
Again, I would like to also say a very happy Lent to all Christians also in Gambia.
Thank you. Thank you
Happy
very
to be here.
Fantastic.
Good morning, Uncle Peter, and good morning, everyone. My name is Yaya Sao, a Senior Management Trainer in the Business Studies Department of the Management Development Institute, MDI. It's a great pleasure to be here. And good morning and Ramadan Mubarak to all the beautiful listeners and viewers out there. Personally, I am very honored and happy to be here today because I'm a very big fan of Coffee Time. So it's a great pleasure to be in your midst, Uncle Peter and the team.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And those watching us on YouTube will see what they have not seen before, me sharing a microphone with somebody. Introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gomez. My name is Alhaji Sila Konate, Principal Management Trainer at the MDI, the Public Relations Officer for the Institute, as well as the GIMPA Coordinator for the Gambia. Happy Ramadan and happy Lent to all Muslims and Christians respectively. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. We're all very politically correct this morning. Okay, let's begin with an overview of GIMPA. Deputy Registrar Professor Adaku. Sorry? Rector. Not Registrar, Rector.
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to, first of all, thank so much the President of this great country, Gambia, the Minister of Education, and then also the Director at MDI, Alhaji Aliu Janju, and his team, including Mr. Konati. They've been great and instrumental in this partnership and where we have come at this point. GIMPA, as you know, is Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. It was established in 1961. Yes.
It's older than the Gambia.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And we are unique in a sense that we are the only university in Ghana with an act of parliament that says that we are supposed to focus on the development in the area of management, in the area of leadership and public administration. We have, world-class universities in Ghana and all of that, but none of them has this privilege or mandate to focus on the training and development in the areas of leadership, management, and public administration. And we have been able to pursue this mandate very well in the country, in that most of our alumni, high-profile people are in the parliament. For instance, the current Speaker of Parliament is an alumnus of the Institute. If you go into the ministry, we've got ministers from our place that we have trained. Essentially, GIMPA was established to polish up graduates from the other universities. So we are actually at the top of the market to offer high-quality education to people who have come out from the traditional university so that they can fit very well in the public sector and then also in the private sector. So we are actually unique, and we offer quality and high-end education in Ghana. We've got, 4 main schools. We've got the School of Public Service and Governance, which is here on what we call transnational education to scale up our impact here in Gambia. We've got a GIMPA School of Business, we've got a GIMPA School of Law, and then we've also got the GIMPA School of Technology and Social Sciences. In the coming years, you will fill all the other schools, but for now, GIMPA is here on the back of the School of Public Service and Governance on an agenda we call transnational education, to make sure that the quality education we have been driving since 1961 in Ghana, we scale it up in the sub-region. And that's why we are here in the Gambia. And my colleague will be talking more about that in a very short time. Thank you.
I'll move on to him very quickly, the Dean, to talk about the mission here in the Gambia.
Thank you very much, Uncle Peter. Our mission in the Gambia at this time is in furtherance of an earlier engagement we've had. So in July, August 2023, leadership of the MDI, led by the Director General Alhaji Aliu Jaju, and then Mr. Sila Konate, visited GIMPA on a study tour. And this mission was part of the agenda to expand the MDI to become a civil service university. And so they were looking within the sub-region to find an institution that has done it before. GIMPA moved on that tangent in the early 2000s, and we became a public university, even though we started off in 1961 as a similar institution like MDI currently. And so they found it worthy to touch base and find out how our journey has been. So we had that interaction, and it led to the creation of an MOU so that GIMPA will partner and then mentor the MDI on that part. So last year in February, we were here to sign the MOU and then initiate processes to identify programs that we can quickly introduce, what we call low-hanging fruits. And so we have identified about 4 or 5 programs that we are currently working on. But our mission now is to ensure the implementation of one of them, the Masters in Public Sector Management, which has benefited not only Gambia, but all the Anglophone countries in West Africa since 2006. And so our mission here is simple: to finalize preparations for the first week of April launch of the Masters in Public Sector Training at the MDI.
Okay. All right. And why choose, the Masters in Public Sector Management? Is that the lowest of the low-hanging fruits?
Not really, but it is that which is very common and popular with industry players. There is no ministry or no agency in this state that you go and you not find either the head or the deputies who have not benefited from this program. If you go to GRA, the 2 deputies have been there. If you go to transport, if you go to airports, these are places that social security and home finance, housing finance, these are places that you find all our alums. Parliament, in fact, the electoral commissioner of the Gambia is a beneficiary.
Oh, is that so? Well done. Yeah.
And so we were thinking about leveraging on that to set our footprint here so that the other programs will flow out of that.
Okay. So we have given the justification as to why GIMPA. Let's now talk about admissions and, all the other things a listener would be asking in their head. Do I come to the dean first?
Yes,
or let's bring in the lady.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Gomez. Admissions are ongoing. We're here basically to do the admissions, and admissions have been done. It's ongoing, and we're going to extend the deadline to about March 20th to enable us to receive further more applications so they can be screened. The screening has been done and it's been vigorous. It's one that has been we've been very firm, enhancing, making sure that we are implementing our policies and going by our regulations and our requirements. And so it's only those applicants who meet the requirements who have been shortlisted and have been admitted. But those who unfortunately who do not meet it, we would have to decline their admissions. And so it's ongoing. And our standards are very, very rigorous and very intense. We ensure that we go by what is required of us, else our regulators would take out the accreditation from us.
Okay, and so what are those requirements? What qualifies me as an applicant and what disqualifies me?
The basic requirement is a bachelor's degree, an undergraduate degree, and the minimum is a second class lower that you need to have. So anything up, second class lower and up, above, you're qualified. But below that, you would not qualify for admissions. Thank you.
All right. I think they want you to say something in that regard.
Yeah, thank you. I also want to add that the other requirement also is equivalence of a bachelor's degree also. Yeah.
Well, she didn't mention that. Yeah. I understand you're also hiring adjunct faculty, lecturers, I suppose, for the degree course.
Yes. So what we are seeking to do is that we want to make this a homegrown program, and so even though we will have faculty from main campus at GIMPA and then on globally teach on the program, because of the focus that we are placing or positioning this program as a very competitive program. We are also relying on industry players from the Gambia who have worked with rich experiences in the public service, in the private sector, whose backgrounds have a bearing on the program. And so we have initiated advertisements to bring in these individuals to share their experiences with the individuals who will benefit from being on the program, so that they can gain the hands-on experiences that these individuals have accumulated over the years throughout their work in the public and private sectors, so that they can enrich them, and then their experiences will be useful for what they do here in the Gambia.
Let me ask you, Dean, to tell us about the structure of this master's degree program.
So it is the program is structured over an 18-month period, and it will include a thesis, a master's thesis at the end, so that participants who come on the program will go through instructions in policy making, in international relations and diplomacy, in public administration and management, so that by the time one completes the program, they are become well versed in the areas of governance, in the areas of public administration and management, and then in the areas of diplomacy.
I want to add something to it. In terms of structure, I would like to speak something briefly about the pedagogy or the instruction. We are bringing our world-class, pedagogy from Ghana to this place. We are very well aware that we are in the 21st century. And at GIMPA, we have actually reconfigured to make sure that in terms of instruction or pedagogy, we focus on developing the 21st century skills in our students, especially the graduate students. So our pedagogy will focus on developing collaborative skills, communication skills, creativity, critical thinking, creative thinking, and lifelong learning, and all of that. So we have carefully designed our course outline to ensure that instructors are able to develop those skills among our students. And case study approach to make sure that learning is practical as much as possible is going to be at the forefront of our pedagogy. We're going to be using role plays, we're going to be using simulations, we're going to be using a lot of practical approaches to developing these skills among our students. And that is what has been setting us apart in Ghana. And we feel that doing that here in Gambia will help us train high quality managers or leaders in the civil service space. Thank you.
And do you expect to find, these kind of instructors in the Gambia? Have you started?
Absolutely.
Have you started
Absolutely.
unearthing one or two?
Absolutely. So we've started a very rigorous process of getting such people to be able to deliver on this. We are quality-minded, and we won't go down on our quality because we believe that the brand, whether in Ghana or in Gambia, must be at the same level. We risk our reputation if we lower down or let down our guards and our standards over here. So we are going to be very, very, strict about who qualifies to teach on the program.
All right. We have to go back to the dean.
And so we are encouraging all well-meaning Gambians.
Women?
All well-meaning Gambians.
Well-meaning,
women and men.
I thought, yeah.
Who have distinguished themselves in their fields of endeavor that border on the subject areas of this program to avail themselves, because at the end of the day, it's also about building capacity for our national development. And so whatever we've done in our lives, in our careers, and that we feel that it will be useful to the program, we can sign up as even guest speakers, so that when time demands, we will fall on you to come and speak to our participants on the areas that you think will help in their formation and development.
And just name a few of those fields of endeavor.
I mentioned project management, governance and leadership, decentralization, economic policy, negotiations. These are areas that we need to build capacity in for our budding economies, so that we can negotiate well, and the terms of trade and all of that is important.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, can you elaborate on negotiations?
Yes.
I mean, we have different kinds of negotiations now. Negotiations to bring peace in Gaza, to bring peace in whatever. So this is negotiations, in terms of trade
relations
and business relations.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's all going. Sorry.
In Ghana, we also are structured and in the area of industry collaboration. So we are very intentional about organizing visits to industry for them to engage with industry players, because the learning mustn't happen all in the four walls of the classroom. The learning must also happen at the places where the people will be going after the classroom. So we are very intentional about organizing all of these trips to the industry. And we have a huge network of industry collaborators. So, in Gambia, I believe that the students will be able to afford. We can organize trips to Ghana and other West African countries for them to interact with the industry players at the places where the actions happen and all of that. The idea is to train different breed of leaders that will transform the sub-region and the continent as a whole. So we want to make this program very competitive and very valuable as much as possible.
Dean?
Yes, and also the idea of entrepreneurship is becoming a very important area. So that how do we make government entrepreneurial, even as we move on? And so it's an integral part of the pedagogy and then the programs that we are offering. Ethics and how we relate to each other, performance management. These are all areas that the program covers very well and in detail. So we are calling on everyone who has expertise in any of these areas to make their services available for the benefits of this initiative that we are developing.
I'll give you some good news. Just a few days ago, the president was involved in, the first tranche disbursement of hundreds of millions of, or rather millions of dollars for skills, innovation, and entrepreneurship training. You just brought up the issue of entrepreneurship. So maybe your colleagues at MDI should get in touch with the Ministry of Higher Education to try to maybe just, have a finger into that monetary pie, if you like.
In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Jar Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Jar Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. With a focus on sustainability and innovation, we are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Jar Oil also targets to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.
You spoke about affordability. Maybe it's time to talk about, the fees for this, and I'll just have my co-presenter here to do that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gomez. Before I just go to the fees, I would like to give an overview of this program in terms of it's coming into the Gambia, because it's very, very important for those who don't know much about that to also know it's the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, signed an agreement with the African Capacity Building Foundation, ACBF, in 2005 with the aim of providing capacity development to senior government, senior public sector officials in the sub-region. The 5 countries, which were Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and the Gambia. And it was fully funded by the project from 2006 all the way to 2017. So during this period, each country will each country was given an allocation, allocation of students that you will send to undergo the program. So as far as the Gambia is concerned, for all these years, we've been getting, I think, for the first 5 years, 555, then increased to 7. So by the time the project was phasing out, I think we had almost 100 Gambians who have gone through this Master of Public Sector Management. And I would say it again, these people are all in very top positions in this country. If you will allow me, I will just mention some names. Sure. currently like the Director General of the GPPA, for the Jaite, they are all graduates of this program. Social Security, Salum Malang, the CD Kanyis of GTSC, the Sambujanjais of the IEC, the registrars of Gambia College, Dembayabo, the Dr. Njais at the registrar at the Regional Maritime University in Ghana, Dr. Jobs, so many people, I can, including myself. I went through this program in 2007. So we thank God that we have been able to bring it, and we have to still continue to give credit to the government of the Gambia, especially through the efforts of the Ministry of Higher Education. And that here I would definitely go back to once again to pay tribute to the late Vice President, His Excellency Badr Diouf, and the former Minister of Higher Education, because immediately when the new government came in, and he was appointed as the Minister of Higher Education, he said that his ambition for the MDI at the time was to make sure that MDI gets mentored by a reputable institution, and that reputable institution was GIMPA, because when he was working with World Bank, he had a lot to do with GIMPA, and that immediately he started the efforts towards that direction. We had almost 2 trips. In 2017, we had a trip to GIMPA. In 2018, again, we had another trip to GIMPA. And later on, immediately, COVID came and shattered everything. But, the Director General of the MDI, Mr. Alujaju, did not give up. And we embarked on another mission again in 2023. And that with the level of leadership that we found there also, they were very much receptive to the whole thing, very willing to partner with MDI. And when we started the negotiations, the talks, it was quickly, decided that we should go on with this. So today we are here, almost about to launch the program in April next month. So yes, this trip, these people, yesterday we were very much involved in the program, in admitting students. And again, the level of students that we admitted yesterday spoke volumes about the kind of quality of people that come into the program. Most of them were heads of institutions. So the program is an 18-month program, and the fee is $3,600, which is very much affordable as far as our standards are concerned.
I didn't know it took so long, to answer a simple question of what, what are the fees for the program. Do you have anything to add to that before we move on?
Yes, just quickly. Thank you very much once again. And we extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests from GIMPA. As a member of the MBI, member of staff, we look forward to a very fruitful partnership. And I have a conviction, a strong one for that matter, that this program will yield a mutually beneficial outcome for both institutions in terms of creating synergy and also creating an experience sharing platform for us, especially as young people, to learn and develop our skills in the areas of public sector management and leadership, which is a critical need for every country. So we are pleased and happy about this partnership. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gomez. Once again, I would like to give credit to the current Minister of Higher Education, Professor Per Gomez. He's very much ambitious as far as the transformation of MDI into a university is concerned. I don't know whether you are aware, but now MDI is being transformed into a university, and we are now called the Civil Service University, and that the road towards that direction has started, and that this is why this collaboration with GIMPA has come at a very, very crucial time, because GIMPA's role in terms of mentoring MDI, will be very crucial as far as our transition is concerned.
All right. Esther, let me just ask you in the final 3 minutes remaining to talk about, standards and quality as far as, GIMPA is concerned. How important are those? And, what can you tell the listeners?
Thank you very much, Mr. Gomez. Yes, GIMPA is noted for enforcing quality. We have a quality unit, and there's a director in charge of quality assurance in GIMPA, and we have standards that we've set that we have to adhere to, and so course outlines are standardized, and every lecturer is required to follow that course outline, and the selection of lecturers for courses as well. The quality is instilled. We have to ensure that those lecturers meet the requirements and have the qualifications to be able to impart knowledge in the students. In addition to that, students have an input into the determination of the performance of every lecturer in a class. And so we have what we call the student-faculty evaluation that students are required to complete and give an indication as to the performance of a lecturer in the class. And those are taken seriously in terms of the lecturers, the individual lecturers' performance assessment at the end of the year to ensure that we enhance their performance where there's a need. And also we use that to determine, it's an input into the promotions when it comes to the promotion, the applications for promotions. And so we have to let the students have an input, and that is taken into consideration to ensure that they meet the requirement. Further to that, we have what we call pre-examination moderations and post-examination moderations. And the pre-examination moderation basically is moderation of examination questions to ensure that they meet the standards per the course outlines. So the course outlines are required to ensure that are required to contain everything that is in the course description. And so when the questions, examination questions are said, you have to ensure the coverage is equally the same. And after the exams, there's post-examination moderation as well to ensure that the assessment has been done fairly across board. And then we have to ensure that there's a curve. There's what we call the curve that is expected in the classroom. And so if we happen to see that it's skewed, they have to go over it. And if there's a need to have it reviewed, it's done. And more so, in the scores, we have a template, a standard template for scores that are provided. And so when lecturers enter the scores, and there happens to be, maybe as humans as we are, maybe somebody in an error types in, instead of probably 61, you type 116, you have to follow the due process, which is rigorous, to ensure that there's a great change. You don't just go in and do it. It has to go through the head of department and then through the dean, and end up with the deputy rector who's in charge of academic programs. And so those are some of the things that we do. We have a survey of customer service as well that we do across board to ensure that our stakeholders' needs are met and whatever input they have for us. So from time to time, when it comes to even the appointment of heads of departments, appointments of deans, you go around the institute, engage all stakeholders, including alumni, to determine whether the person meets their requirements to be given the appointment. Even the deputy rector's appointment and the rector's appointment, all stakeholders are engaged because the customer experience is very important to us. Moreover, we have a curriculum review process that goes on. So usually the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, that's the equivalent of your NACA, that gives accreditation, would come in from time to time to also do an institutional accreditation and review everything from curriculum to facilities to lecturers' qualifications, and they keep requesting lecturers' qualifications to be provided, and they are updated. So as and when they require request of that, and it's time for them to come, we prepare for that. And every lecturer is supposed to provide your publications as well, and everything is kept in record. And so basically, those are the things we do in terms of quality.
Rigorous.
Thank you very much.
The standards are, are understandably very high. Well, you mentioned the dean and the deputy rector. They will have the final words. No disrespect to the other members of the team. Let's start with you, Dean. By way of, just a closing message. I mean, what do you have?
I am very happy where we've gotten to with this program. And just as Mr. Asila mentioned, when we started this journey in July 2023, it looked too far out. But by the grace of God, we are here, and plans are far advanced for our first week in April launch. We are upbeat about it, and because of the enthusiasm and the support we have received from the MDI and the people of the Gambia. Last time we were here in September, when we stepped out of these studios, everybody was talking to us. Every offices we went to, they were telling us how they listened to us and what they are looking forward to us coming and the program starting. So we are here, and we are saying that we are still admitting up to 20th of March. Okay. So those who are qualified, institutions that are interested in sponsoring candidates, our doors are open. We can still have engagement to do that between now and 20th of March, which is about 15 days or so from now.
Fantastic.
And so we want to thank everybody who has been part and supportive of this process so far. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Sila will give us a contact number that people can call. But just, the Deputy Rector, by way of a final message.
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, we are so happy to be here. Our goal is simple. We want to focus on developing the next generation of leaders, not only for Gambia, but for Africa. Everything rises and falls on leadership, and we recognize this. That is why we are assembling a crack of facilitators both in Ghana and also here in Gambia to make sure that we are able to achieve this objective. We will do our best to make sure that this continent does not suffer in terms of quality leadership in the next 10, 15, 20 years. And some of these arrangements are carefully crafted to make sure that we are able to achieve this. We should be able to make Africa great. And if America is calling for greatness, Africa
Are
must
you borrowing
also...
from Trump?
Africa should also aim to be great. And I think higher education institutions have a big role to play in making sure that the continent is great and is able to stand competitively on the global scheme of things. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Definitely the last one. Contacts, numbers that people can call and alternatives to that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Gomez. Once again, for those who wish to apply, because like we said, the application window is still open up to March 20, you can call 354-6299, 354-6299 or 990-8806 or 795-8806 or 3300-048. Thank you so much.
All right. And, good luck, GIMPA. And we look forward, to those of you listening, applying ASOP.
We will invite you to the luncheon.
I'll be there. It's a promise.
In April.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming.